what you want. We are here to update you on the global coverage.
Enabled and fueled by our own governments, our institutions, our media.
She's a troublemaker. She has an anger management problem. I think she should see a doctor.
Solidarity, of people stepping up when our government failed to do so, of people saying that my leaders, so-called leaders who are supposed to represent me, who continue to fuel a genocide, death and destruction, they do not represent me. And this is a last resort. That this mission has to exist is a shame. It is a shame. This genocide and other genocides are being enabled and fueled by our own governments, our institutions, our media and companies. It is our responsibility to end that complicity. And they once again violated international law by preventing humanitarian aid from getting into Gaza while people are being starved.
Oh, she's just a troublemaker, you know. I mean, she's no longer into the environment now. She's into this. She's a troublemaker. She has an anger management problem. I think she should see a doctor. She needs anger. If you ever watch her, she's a young person. She's so angry. She's so crazy. Now you can have her. You can have. She's just a troublemaker.
Flotilla, that's the word to describe the place where we were at, is a camp, a concentration camp. And the fact that that in this same camp, just a little further away, they held a lot of Palestinians also. And for us, they were violent, they were abusive, and they did not spare any chance to humiliate us or in other ways behave sadistically.
19 nautical miles away from Gaza, and we were held hostage in handcuffs in a very tight room, hot. We were not allowed to get fresh water for 20 hours until we reached Ashdod. And when we reached Ashdod, we were treated like terrorists.
טרוריסטים, די טרוריסט. תל עליהם. תלכי רוצחים. אגב, האוניות שלהם נמצאו קרחנה שלמה. הם לא באו באמת, לא למשט, לא לעזור, אלא הם באו בעד עזה, בעד הטרוריסטים. אלה טרוריסטים.
Even though Israel's national security minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, is a literal convicted terrorist, he accused humanitarians who were detained as part of the global Sumud Flotilla as being as such. Now, in reality, the 137 activists who were detained by Israel were actually seeking to deliver humanitarian aid to Palestinians in Gaza who are still intentionally being starved to death. And some of the detainees have spoken out about the torturous conditions imposed by the Israelis after they were, taken captive by the Israeli government, including 70-year-old Margaret Pasetta, who's from Scotland. Take a listen to what she had to say about the conditions of the prison that she was sent to.
That prison was awful. Oh, I bet it was. Wow. In a gym. Yeah. No food, no water. My broken leg, the girl said to me, "Oh, what happened to your leg?" I said, "It's broke." She slammed the metal door on it and went, "Sorry." No. Oh my God. Horrible, horrible.
So that 70-year-old woman you just heard from has a broken leg, and she claims that the Israelis slammed a metal door on her broken leg as she was in detention. Now, two others who were part of the flotilla said that Swedish activist Greta Thunberg, who was in Israeli custody but no longer is, was also mistreated during her detention. Hazwani Helmi, a Malaysian citizen, and Winfield Beaver, an American citizen, told Reuters at the airport that they had witnessed Thunberg being mistreated, saying that she was shoved and forced to wear an Israeli flag. 28-year-old Helmi said that detainees were not being given clean food or water, and that their medications and belongings had been confiscated. It was a disaster. They treated us like animals. Beaver said Thunberg was treated terribly and used as propaganda, describing how she was pushed into a room as National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir arrived. Now, an official who visited Thunberg in prison claimed that she was being held in a cell infested with bed bugs and had no food or little food and water. And then earlier today, Greta was released from detention and deported to Greece, where she confirmed that she was, in fact, subjected to abuses, but didn't go into detail. Take a look.
I could talk for a very, very long time about our mistreatment and abuses in our imprisonment, trust me, but that is not the story. What happened here was that Israel, while continuing to worsen and escalate their genocide and mass destruction with genocidal intent, attempting to erase an entire population, an entire nation in front of our very eyes.
Now, as you can imagine, that looks pretty embarrassing for the Israeli government to basically torture humanitarians who are just trying to break the siege of Gaza and get humanitarian aid to people who are intentionally being starved to death. And so as a result, the Israelis have denied that these individuals have been mistreated. The foreign ministry described reports that detainees had been mistreated as complete lies. But apparently, Ben-Gvir didn't get the memo that he's supposed to spout this specific lie, and instead said something counter to what the Israeli foreign ministry said. In fact, he says anyone who supports terror is a terrorist, referring to the humanitarians on the flotilla as terrorists, and deserves the conditions of terrorists. And that statement came after reports that Thunberg was mistreated, by the way. Ben-Gvir said he, quote, took pride in the fact that we treat the Flotilla activists as terror supporters. Again, Itamar Ben-Gvir is a literal convicted terrorist, but let me continue. He also said, quote, they should feel what the conditions in Ketziat prison are like and think twice before approaching Israel again. That's how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and take Ben-Gvir's word for it because what he's saying is consistent with the way the Israeli government has been behaving. So, Cenk, what are your thoughts?
Every Israeli accusation is a confession. So as he's sitting there pointing at them going, they are terrorists, terrorists. What he's saying is, first of all, he is, as Anna pointed out, a convicted terrorist. But mainly what he's saying is, I want you to do terrorism on them. I want you to terrorize them. I want you to drag them by the hair. I want you to slam their legs. I want you to treat them like they're Palestinians. Well, in a sense, thank you, because then the world sees better how you treat Palestinians. And so now that they're doing it to Europeans, people are seeing it with their own eyes, and they're, oh, that's a little grandmother from Scotland who's got a broken leg, and you're gonna slam a door into it. Well, what do you think they've been doing to Palestinian grandmothers for 2 years straight? Other than, of course, blowing their heads off when they drop a bomb on them, or lighting them on fire when they drop a bomb on them. What do you think they've been doing to Palestinian children? They've been slaughtering them one by one, or 100 at a time. What do you think happens when they drop bombs? So I love the flotilla, because they're putting a spotlight where it needs to be. And they're showing the world the disgusting terrorist Ben-Gvir and the disgusting terrorist government of Israel, the current government of Israel, and how they do their terrorism. So yeah, that's how they treat Palestinians on a daily basis, because they think they're Übermensch, that they are superior, and the Palestinians are subhuman. And so he's saying, look, even though they look white, even though they are European, you should treat them like we treat the Palestinians, like subhumans, terrorists. If you're still defending this Israeli government, you lost your moral thread at some point. You just lost it. You're so blinded and biased. You're like, no, starving the children is a good thing. That's what the moral army would do. 87. So like, I got it. But the rest of the world sees it clear as day. And the flotilla is just yet another example. And by the way, and I don't know if you know this part of the story, Ro Khanna